Was a dermatologist appointment. I wasn't going in looking for something. I didn't really have something I was super concerned about. She came in closer to me and she looked at me and she said, I think that is basal cell carcinoma and you need to go get a punch biopsy like next week. And I was like, what?
It's a significant skill those dermatologists have of looking at something that looks to you and I might look like a little blemish, an early pimple or something, and recognizing that that might be a skin cancer.
He said, you know, you have skin cancer. And I said, what? And he goes, the good news is you don't have melanoma. That is the fastest growing one. You don't have that one. You have a basal cell carcinoma. And he goes, it's slow growing and probably won't kill you. But we need to take care of this. And it won't be one surgery, it will be two. And I said, well, if it's slow growing and it's not gonna kill me, why do you wanna cut up my face? Because I work in TV, hello, and you know, I'm a girl, and that's my face.
It's hard, it's your face, right? And it's very different than having surgery in other parts of your body that you can hide. There's no hiding these incisions, these scars. And these skin cancers are kind of like trees, where you see the tree on the surface, but then there's the whole root system underneath.
They expected me to have one cut, be there 1 hour. For me, it was 4 cuts in 4 hours, and in the process, they did a second biopsy on the top of my nose, and she found a third one between my eyes, so they did a second Mohs surgery.
A lot of these surgeries are trying to make sure the nose looks good, but also make sure it functions well. So we borrowed cartilage from her ear to replace some missing cartilage on her nose. Then we made incisions on the side of her nose and repositioned skin to cover the wound. So it's kind of borrowing from Peter to pay Paul.
They wouldn't let me see at first, and my husband saw, and he wouldn't let me see. I think the hardest part for me was when I went to the surgeon's office and they took the Band-Aids off. My husband knew it was coming, but I didn't. And we had to have our son with us, our 14-year-old son, because for whatever reason we needed to drive him somewhere. And when he saw me, he started crying. The little that I put out there about my story came back fourfold with just the people sharing their stories and that sense of community when you're feeling really alone and really scared and you don't look like yourself and you don't feel like yourself. All of a sudden I had all these people sharing with me their pictures, their stories.
In my office, I call it the Kathy Sabine effect. I mean, her being so vulnerable and vocal and using her platform for good has, I mean, you talk to any dermatologist in this area and their phone is ringing off the hook now.
If I can say, look, I don't look perfect. I may never look perfect and be back to where I was, but I'm back to work. I'm back to my life. You can do it too.
Maybe there's some wisdom in having scars. You know, we can look back at something that was really hard in our life that we went through, and it's evidence that we went through something really challenging.
If I can save one life or just be an inspiration to someone and say, you can look like me, which is still not great, and have your life back. Ooh, that's like, it makes me emotional.
It's a lot, but we are so glad, and we're so glad we got to talk to Dr. Archibald about this. You've been really close with him because you've seen him a lot. He does this a lot.
Well, he told me, I mean, he used to work in more plastic surgery and cosmetic surgery and things, noses and different things, but skin cancer is an epidemic in Colorado, as I've learned, and he does 20 to 30 skin cancer surgeries and reconstructions a week. He said for every 1,000 feet in elevation, the numbers are staggering. And for me, it's not just, did someone come up to me and mention my story or share their story with me? It's how many people every day.
Yours is a success story, you know, and sadly that's not the case for everyone, depending on when you're caught as far as diagnosed. How long are you now from diagnosis to today?
I have to go every 3 months and get checked. They diagnosed me back in May. I had the surgery in July, a second surgery in December. I go every 3 months because the fear is that more will come. Because what he mentioned to me is this, even though I thought I was doing everything right with the hats, the sunscreen and everything, this isn't what I've been doing wrong for the last 10 years. This is what happened maybe when I was 10 or 15. As a young child, maybe not the proper. But you know, I'm so grateful because there are so many people who have worse situations that don't have the resources. I'm so happy that I live in a day and age where a wonderful team like Dr. Archibald, Dr. Leslie Cape, and Dr. Sarah Bassick, they're there for all of us here to help us. And I'm grateful that I live in a day and age where we have people like this and the resources. And I know there are a lot of people who have worse situations than this that don't have the resources. So If I can get the word out and show people.
But a lot of people can't be that vulnerable. So hats off for you to doing this. Because, no, seriously, most of us, you take a bad picture and you're like, I'm not putting that one out.
No, and that was, I think, a very important step, and it says a lot about social media, which we tend to really struggle with, and we find all the negativity that exists on social media, and we talk about that at great length. In this case, you used your social media presence in a very important way, and not only the feedback you got, but the fact that some people were actually impacted in that they had to go get diagnosed and get help.
And I didn't put it out there to get attention. I put it out there to share with my viewers who have followed me these 30 years throughout different things in my life. And when I knew I was going to be gone, not 1 day, but 6 weeks, you know, I just put it out there for that reason. And actually, I find that people are craving real, and they want that connection, and they see that those of us on TV, we actually are real people with real struggles just like them. And if I can give them a resource or maybe just a little bit of inspiration that you can do this and be okay, but you've got to get checked. You've got to go and get the skin cancer, you know, checks. You just have to. I never thought it would happen to me.
Which I think is something you'll hear from everyone.
Yes, that's what, and one of the things I won't forget too that Dr. Archibald told us is he said he has a lot of men that come in and say, I don't need the surgery because you know what, I don't need the surgery, I don't care about that stuff. And then he said, he looks at him and says, well, do you want your nose to be a conversation piece? And he said, that's when they say, oh, I'll have the surgery.
Or he'll bring their wives in and ask them, and they'll be like, do the surgery, do the surgery.
Because sometimes I think men are not as
So when you say you have been doing the proper prevention techniques, your only advice, I think, to people then is to maintain that proper prevention, but start it on kids, start it younger, and get that message out to get people a head start.
And get those yearly checks. And if you think you can't afford it, ask your dermatologist. They have programs. They want to help you. They want to see you. And you know what? Prevention is everything when it comes to skin cancer. Melanoma is not easily diagnosed and has a 16% survival rate if you don't catch it early. That was the scary one.
And yours was a tiny freckle.
It was.
A freckle.
It was. They see what you can't see. And it's like an iceberg sometimes. So thank you, Dr. Archibald. Thank you, Dr. Capon. Thank you, Dr. Bassick. And just thank you to all of you. The love and support gave me the confidence to come back and be on TV when I don't look exactly like myself.
No, you
I don't feel like myself. I'm still healing, but they got all the cancer and I'm healthy. And wow, am I grateful for that.
What else have you learned about the advances? Because it certainly seems to me that over the past 10, 20 years, what you were diagnosed with would have probably been a much more invasive surgery and maybe not have even been spotted. But now they're better at finding it and certainly better at removing it.
And a lot of the Mohs surgeons can take care of your skin cancer right in the office. Some skin cancers don't involve 2 surgeries. It's all about location. Mine was right on the side of my nose and a large piece of my nose was missing and then between my eyes. But the Mohs surgeons are amazing and phenomenal in their own right and specially trained at this, and it's amazing what they can do, and you might not even see the scar. I know people, they show me their scar, I can't even see it.
Well, your story is a success story for you, but it's also been a success story for a lot of people. So we appreciate your courage in standing up and doing it right in front of a camera, because that's not easy to do.
That's great.
Well, the best,
you go, girl.
The best thing is just the hundreds of people that I know have gone in and gotten their skin checked, and the ones that have said, I found something. I wouldn't have found it if it wouldn't have been for your story and your scary pictures. So that's what I'm grateful. I mean, if this can be used as something for good and to make a difference in someone's life or save a life, I'm so here for it.
Good job. Thanks, Kath.
Thank you.
For your love and friendship, too.
Thank you.
Get back to the storm.
Whew, okay.
Talk about the storm now.
Okay,
we'll be right back.
Focusing now.